What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Disgruntled Anthropophagi, entitled Violently Expunged. This is released on Lord of the Sick Recordings. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of both New York and Pennsylvania, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very aggressive, raw, serial killer influenced style of brutal death metal. Yeah. My first introduction to this band was their 2015 debut full-length entitled Rampage of Misanthropic Purge. You can tell from looking at that album cover and listening to this band's music that this was one of those brutal death metal bands that really tried and succeeded, of course, to pummel you with their style of music. It's really interesting to note that this is a duo. There's a guitar player and a drummer vocalist. I love it when these power duos or trios come together to create some really killer music. And here with that particular record, it showed you what type of band this was all about. Really heavy riffs, really natural and raw drums, raw production, guttural vocals, just very in-your-face stuff. And that's what made that particular record so enjoyable. It's interesting to note that back in this band's earlier existence, they just went under the name Disgruntled and put out an EP in 2011. But of course, we have Disgruntled Anthropophagi now, and I believe this direction change is probably for the better for this band. But now we have the second full-length album from Disgruntled Anthropophagi entitled Violently Expunged. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around 29 minutes in length, and pretty much this is quality material. This album really exceeded and surpassed all of my expectations, and I really do think this is one of the best brutal death metal albums of 2019. Just from the minute you put it on to the minute that it's over, this is just some serious kick-your-ass style of death metal going on here, and it's really good. Like I mentioned, this is basically a duo, and the guitar playing and the drumming are what make an album like this sound so smooth. I feel like there's a bit of a bump in production quality this time around in comparison to the previous full length, but I don't think that's too much of a distraction. I definitely think that it makes this band sound a whole lot better, and it makes every instrument and every riff, every drum sound just sounds so good here. I love the guitar playing done throughout this record. It's very frenetic, it's very chaotic sounding, and I definitely think it's well balanced throughout the majority of this record. From the shorter tracks to some of the longer songs, these riffs are just disgustingly good, even when it comes to the more pit riff, slammy sort of parts, the more breakdown orientated sort of parts of this record. I mean, there are riffs on this thing that'll definitely want to make you throw an elbow or two in the mosh pit. That's how good these riffs are. I mean, listening to songs like Ascending from Vile Execution, Spreading Relentless Rage, Realm of Heinous Murders, to the closing moments of the last couple of tracks like Unparalleled Agony and the title track. Just some seriously top-notch guitar riff work going on throughout this record. Very heavy, very slam riff orientated, very pit riff heavy, and that's what makes this album sound so good. The drumming on here is sensational. I love this drum style. It's very natural, it's very methodical, a lot of drum rolls, a lot of blast beats. The way the snare sounds, it's just awesome. I love that sort of snare tone and pop when you listen to an album like this, especially for some of the lengthier tracks that are on here. Like, once again, going to Realm of Heinous Murders and the track Unparalleled Agony. Just some really great drum work being done on those songs, and just that snare sound is so good. I fucking love that a lot about this record. And the vocals on this album are really great too. I love this vocalist's demeanor, just very... And yeah, like I mentioned, it's a drummer and a vocalist, so you're getting killer blasts in addition to some really killer vocal work going on here, and I really love this guy's sound. Very menacing, very guttural, very mean sounding, and I believe on the track Spreading Relentless Rage you hear the voice of James Schuster, whom you probably know best for his work with Delusional Parasitosis. And of course, his voice is extremely recognizable, and I think he does a tremendous job lending some guest vocals to that song. But as far as the main vocalist of this band himself, his vocals are terrific, and I think he does a very good job of weaving the tales that are being woven throughout this entire record, making you feel nervous and getting that sense of fear and feeling disturbed. It's just really, really killer vocal work being done here, literally and figuratively. So overall, like I said, this is a way better album than I was expecting it to be. I had been hearing a lot of great things about this band from a lot of mutual friends, and when I finally put this album on to listen to, it is very much well worth the hype, I would say. So if you're into raw, violent, brutal death metal, Disgruntled Anthropophagi are the band to be checking out. I really would like to see this band continue and get stronger and get better as time goes by. So if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Ascending from Vile Execution, Spreading Relentless Rage, Psychotic Persecution, Realm of Hades Murders, and Unparalleled Agony. Some seriously strong stuff going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you a link in the description box so you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Lord of the Sick Recordings Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it by digitally. It is available physically as a CD. There are also t-shirt options available, and if you happen to live in the US, I'm pretty sure this band will have copies to sell themselves, or pay attention to any of the US brutal death metal distros like Severed or Comatose or whoever Lord of the Sick distributes to in the US. Pay attention to that and get a hold of it through there. So again, the album is Violently Expunged by Disgruntled Anthropophagi. This is released on Lord of the Sick Recordings. Go check this one out. And for a score, I'm feeling a very solid 9 out of 10 for this one. Definitely one of the best brutal death metal records of 2019, and I'm very excited to see what direction this band will take. So if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it and how you feel about it, or any of you guys into Disgruntled Anthropophagi, let me know. I'm going to include this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Armijo out.